Hi, this is Paul Keel for TPM Media. It is Thursday, May 1st, 2008. As you may know, Lurita Doan, who is the chief of the General Services Administration, was fired yesterday by the White House. She sent out an email to her staff saying that she'd been fired and that she was on her way out. But we wanted to send her off in our own way, in the TPM way. That's because Doan was a remarkable witness for congressional hearings among the remarkable witnesses that populated the Bush administration. And there are a few things in particular that made her so special. First is her terrific capacity for forgetfulness. I mean, usually you see congressional witnesses who can't quite remember what they did last year or a conversation they might have had 2 years ago. But Doan raised the bar, going to testify before Congress in late March about a meeting that had been at GSA headquarters only 2 months before. At that GSA briefing, Karl Rove's aide Scott Jennings showed up armed with a PowerPoint presentation. And on the presentation, there was a rundown of which House and Senate Republicans were vulnerable to losing re-election, which Democrats were particularly vulnerable. But try as she might, Doan just couldn't remember anything about that briefing. After Jennings' presentation, Doan, according to a number of GSA employees who talked to the Washington Post and also the Office of Special Counsel who investigated the meeting, she asked everyone in the room, what can we do to help our candidates? But try as she might, she just couldn't remember saying that either.
I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit this, but I can say that I honestly don't have a recollection of the presentation at all. I don't remember, I really truly don't remember. I don't know what the explanation was that accompanied this. I truly do not remember this part of the presentation. I don't remember it during our meeting. I don't really remember the PowerPoint presentation very clearly. Congressman, honestly and absolutely, I do not have a recollection. I have told you I do not have any recollection. I have no recollection.
I still don't remember making that exact phrase, and I do think the exact wording, if we're going to be talking about this, is important.
With your sharp memory, you may have me, you had me questioning whether I read it right.
But for those comments that Doan actually remembered making, she was able to explain those away in not only your standard parsing, which is typical by a congressional witness, but also by being able to engage in ridiculous grammatical analysis.
Why would you make a statement that they will not be getting promoted and they will not be getting bonuses or special awards? You seem to be pretty clear under oath there.
No, we were still in the area of supposition and conjecture in my mind.
You did use the words "they will not be getting promotions," and that you want us to believe is some sort of speculative or tense issues.
You have to look at what came before.
They will not be getting bonuses?
Congressman, I am all about improvement.
Trying to get a handle on exactly where the issue of tense might relate to whether or not you actually...
I thought I was using like a hortatory subjunctive right there, in which...
You didn't... That future tense sentence didn't mean it because you didn't know future tense, or you know something about a hortatory something or other. God, I feel like Tony Soprano. It looked like, according to a strict reading of those words...
That's incorrect.
Okay, those words don't mean what they said.
I hope my mother's watching. She's a Latin teacher, and I'm just going to take issue with your citing of the hortatory subjunctive. That is just clearly the future tense. It's not future perfect or future pluperfect or anything of that nature. Actually, the best example of the use of hortatory subjunctive is the statement, how can we help our candidates?
No.
Because, yes, the hortatory subjunctive is used when you are exhorting people to do something, which is exactly what that statement was. That was an exhortation in the subjunctive tense, not using the word let's as it's usually seen, but using this other construction.
I have probably some problems sometimes with tense, and as well as with personal pronouns. So you'll see that there are some issues.
But what really makes her special to us is the fact that, even as her memory was failing her, lawmakers didn't seem to be buying her grammatical analysis, she still kept her cool. She still maintained what you might call sass under fire, which always seemed to serve her well.
This slide is depicting Republican targets that identify Democratic seats that are vulnerable. Isn't that what it says?
I'm reading, it says House targets top 20.
Well, you're familiar with what the word target means, right?
I think we could say that I'm one right now, yes.
The Republicans are trying to target these seats to win them back in 2008. That was what was discussed at the presentation.
I appreciate your interpretation of that.
You would agree that a reasonable interpretation of this slide is that it was a political attempt to try to target the top 20 Democratic candidates for defeat in 2008.
No, I would not say that. I would say that this is a slide that says 2008 House targets top 20.
And then there was a mic that was left on during a break in a congressional hearing that caught a moment of private sass.
I'll take my water and my glass. I don't want to write my fingerprints. They got me totally tired.
So long, Lurita. This is Paul Keel for TPM Media, and we'll talk to you next week.